Good evening, everyone. This is Eastern PA Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and I'm going to go through our final call map that we posted above here. I want to do this in video discussion here so you can kind of see what's going on and why we went a little bit aggressive with the map here. Right now we have low pressure. This is according to the Storm Prediction Center. They do a mesoscale analysis of where the low pressure is currently located, and it's just off the right side of the picture here. This is currently at 1,006 millibars by their latest estimation, but we're starting to see some phasing with the storm with this upper level energy that is coming in from this direction here, which is going to help energize this system offshore and eventually pull it north to a position to right about here, and or somewhere in this vicinity right here. And as it does so, it's going to ramp this thing up. It's only 1,006 millibars right now. By the time it gets up here, we're definitely going to be sub 990, maybe approaching 980, 984, somewhere in that range. So it's a pretty decent sized system. It's not. This is a typical nor'easter, but it's not going to be anything near the effects of Hurricane Sandy. But we're going to get into some pretty nasty weather here, especially along the shore points here where they really can't handle it. And let's. I wanted to go into another view here. This is the infrared satellite imagery of the Atlantic. This is actually the tropical Atlantic, and you can find this on our website at epawa.net under the severe and tropic section. And you can see this is just putting in a motion here, infrared high cloud tops. These are the high cloud tops offshore here. So you can see this is really starting to come together and blow up offshore here. And if you take a look at the water vapor imagery right now, this is very telling also. You can look at models all you want here. You really have to stop and take a look around every once in a while and see what's going around in nowcasting is what we call it, which is really where the models don't matter anymore. We just started going into taking observations ourselves and just seeing what's going on here. Here you have our system that's just offshore right here, and this energy right here. Actually, it's just easier. This energy right here is coming, and you can see it's starting to interact right down here, the last couple frames. See how it's kind of leaded in here? This is starting to phase with the system offshore, which is going to take this from just an ordinary low pressure system and blow it up as it moves up to this position out here. Now I want to take a quick look here at the 18Z NAM. The new one is in, and I'll show you that in a minute. Right now. This is a future radar composite off the high resolution NAM. Again, this is off the 18Z. The 0Z NAM, which is the most recent run, did come a little bit west, so it's now in line with what our final call maps area is. We're going to start this off here at hour 18 off the 18Z, which would be this is showing 12Z Wednesday, and 12Z Wednesday is actually 7 a.m. since we did the time change. It's showing some precipitation here, but this is probably just virga, or it's just precipitation not hitting the ground, not reaching the ground. So it's not doing anything at this point, even though it's showing that it is here on the high resolution. You might even see something on radar tomorrow morning where it looks like it's raining or snowing or something, and it's not doing anything at all when you look outside. And that's really what's going on here. You do have a lot of dry air in this area here, so it's going to take a while for any of this stuff to reach the ground, and that's probably not going to be reaching the ground at this point. But as we move ahead here, we get to 18Z. This is 1 p.m. This is 1 p.m. Wednesday. Now you see this heavier stuff coming in here. This is once you get this heavier stuff coming in, that's when you're going to have precipitation starting to fall from the clouds. And as you move through time here, you see it gets more concentrated. The precipitation field expands west, and we're getting up here. Now this is 23. This is 6 p.m. here. Now you see what's happening here. I'm going to move through a couple frames further here, so you can see what happens here. Now this is now we're up to 10 p.m. at night. See how you have this heavier banding start to come in here? This is what we call a deformation band. Deformation bands are kind of like a wild card in these kind of situations, because wherever these deformation bands set up is where you're going to have your heaviest precip, where you can have snowfall rates of over an inch an hour. When you get caught under one of these bands here. And according to the high-res NAM, the 18Z run here, this thinks that there's going to be somewhere over eastern Pennsylvania, right along the border of Jersey and Pennsylvania, from, say, northern Bucks County over to Lehigh, Northampton County, and extreme western New Jersey here. So as you follow this to 11 o'clock at night on Wednesday, this is now sitting right over the Lehigh Valley here. So If you want to know why we went aggressive, and it actually was the Poconos also, if you want to know why we went aggressive, it's because of these the high-resolution models that really do a good job in the short range of showing where the deformation banding sets up. You're seeing that's coming over eastern PA here, and then eventually it shoots down into southeast PA, and at this point it's all snow there at midnight down in Philadelphia, so they're going to get some changeover where we'll start off as rain at first, and then go over later. And this continues 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's 4 a.m. Now it's showing that the precipitation is winding down, and this is pulling away at that point. So the timing is it's probably going to be done in the pre-dawn hour, somewhere between probably 3 and 6 a.m. is what we're looking at our timing here. Now I'm going to go to the latest NAM model that's coming in here. Now this is actually did correct a little bit west, which is why we went with accumulating snow is all the way out to near State College now. And if I'm going to go through the future here. Now at this point, this is 21Z. This is 4 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. It's showing that it is. I'll let me back up here. It's actually starting here around between 12 and 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then as it keeps going here, then the heavier stuff starts coming down here as we get to 4 p.m. It's still showing just snow across northeast PA. It's probably snowing in the Lehigh Valley at this time as well, but just not it's reaching the ground, but probably melting on contact. Surface temperatures might be like 35 or so degrees at this point. It might not be sticking or not sticking very well. But then as we move on in time here, as you get into these heavier bands that actually, through a process called dynamic cooling, will bring down cold air from the upper layers of the atmosphere and cool down to the surface. And you see here at this point, where we're now at 7 p.m. on Thursday night, it's snowing and sticking everywhere in the Lehigh Valley. It's snowing down to Philadelphia, but it's having a difficult time sticking at this point. But we do go further in time here. You see, this is 10 p.m. 1 a.m. This is 4 a.m. You see the ID here. It's still snowing here, and the NAM's showing a pretty good snow event from, from northern Buxton and Montgomery County all the way up into northeastern PA here. That's really your jackpot zone that we have is right in this area. And then finally starting to wind down as you get past get to tomorrow morning. The NAM is starting to linger some stuff here a little bit later. Tomorrow we'll have to watch that on Thursday morning if there's still anything left over. It might be a leftover rain or snow shower, but really no big deal at that point. So that's what we're looking at, and then we get to our map here just to go over this. This is also the top of the page that you've already seen. But what we're looking for with a low that close offshore, you're going to have these are the areas that got hit hard with Sandy right along the coastline here. So we're going to have some high surf, some coastal flooding. There are winds sustained 30 to 50 miles an hour, a gust over 60 along the coast here as this thing just gets right in a position right about here. Which is really horrible for these people, and we feel just horrible for these guys out here that are going to have to deal with this just a little over a week removed from having to deal with Hurricane Sandy. And then when you get down in this area, this is kind of a wild card zone here, and I spoke to our northern New Jersey forecaster Frank Paparato. And we talked about this area here, maybe moving this down, this pink area, maybe down to Freehold or that area. We do think there's a possibility this could change over at the coast as well, and you might have some mixing going down here as well. Maybe even a minor slushy accumulation of coating to inch or so you get in this area here. So this is an all-out of game for snow. We do have it in green right now, but just being with the low being that close to the shore, it's going to be difficult to get that changeover this close to the coastline. I think our mix zone goes right through central Jersey here. You can see, or right through the center of New Jersey, I should say. And then where you're starting to get accumulations, and this would be the tail end, and this is the gray area here. This would be an area we get a coating up to 2 inches of snow. The same can be said on the far western fringe here. East of State College is coating to 2 inches here as well, just because they're so far west away from the low pressure itself, not because it's an issue with rain versus snow or anything like that. It's just so far away. So you're only dealing with lighter amounts here. This from northeast PA through Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, Pottstown, or Pottsville, Lebanon, Lancaster, Lebanon, and York, and Harrisburg. I think this area is a solid 1 to 3. Again, if this does wind up going a little bit west or ends up a little bit stronger, these areas could get in the 2 to 4 range. Our 2 to 4 range is in this blue area right here. And this area is a pretty big area here. Now the whole idea with this thing here is going to start accumulating early on up here, but the precipitation is going to be heaviest falling down here. So the highest QPF amounts are here, which is the quantitative precipitation total. That's what the QPF stands for. And then this up here is you can have less to work with, but it's going to have more cold air. So it's kind of a balance. So I don't want you to think like, oh, well, this kind of looks odd here. Well, it does, and that's because it's going to be raining here starting off down here, and then it's going to be mixing with snow for a very long time before a complete changeover occurs and you get below freezing and you get those grassy area accumulations. Where I think the jackpot area here, and this is the consensus of all of our forecasters, we think we're looking at the Lehigh Valley here straight up through Stroudsburg, and eastern Pike County here, and then you get up into northwest New Jersey, up by Hackettstown, and that area could do very well with this system, and we're looking at 3 to 6 inches. Now, we went aggressive with the snowfall totals. The National Weather Service official call is for 1 to 2 inches right now. I think they will adjust that tomorrow. Not sure if we go to get the winter storm warning criteria here, because you have to be over 6 inches in these areas to have winter storm warning, so don't expect those. Anything up to the 6-inch point will be considered a winter weather advisory for that area. But anywhere in this whole area, we're talking about very windy conditions when the low is closest on Wednesday night here, and it's not an impossibility we can go over 6 inches in a few of these spots here, or even over. We have 2 to 4 here in the blue. We wouldn't be surprised some of these areas end up with 5 or maybe even 6 inches here too. It just depends on where that deformation banding sets up that we showed you on that previous simulated radar off the 18Z NAM. So that's all. It's running on 12 minutes here in the video here almost. So hopefully this will cover everything. If you have any questions, well, you can address them under the comments of this page or on the Facebook page. That's all I have. Have a good evening. This is Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. Have a good night.